okay, I heard this, I identified this. Then you know which route to take to help start peeling those layers of what those hangups are to help them see what could potentially benefit them. 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? This week we had an opportunity to speak with Martin Reese. I've known Martin for years. He's an amazing, successful, and transparent agent in Southern California. He's also an investor and loves hip hop. We talked everything from being your authentic self, sales, neuro-linguistic programming, relationships, and the fact that just a day before filming this, our father was in the ER with a heart attack. Thank you for hanging out. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. Keep swinging, and we'll talk to you soon. Deuces. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I've been all right, man. I've been all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping yourself busy or what?
Yeah. You know, just sorting through problems all the time. There's always something that goes south. So right now, it's not a south transaction. I fixed it like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, dude.
Yeah. It's funny because it's always having a backup, you know, at the end of the day. And so it's one where it's funny because it's very similar to a situation you and I had like a month ago. Like very similar. And so this girl, she went through 2 other lenders, try to purchase a house.
Okay.
That'll be gone.
Yeah, I know right now, huh?
No. Like we could take it out.
Yeah,
I've
really?
been figuring stuff out, bro.
Oh, dude, look at you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So she was working with 2 other lenders and fell out of escrow twice. So she's like super hesitant, you know, super hesitant buying a house and trusting things. And the reason is for some homebuyer program. She was on a house. And then they try to use the same program, right? So part of what I told the client, I said, look, we can give it a shot. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'll approve you. I'll get everything done. Everything's internal. And sure enough, we approved everything. But now the down payment assistance provider is saying the same exact thing. They're saying, hey, you know what? It's you have all the documentation to show that she never lived there. But the problem is she's on this specific program. And so Patty right now, my processor, like at 4 o'clock, we already have all PTDs. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like they basically confirmed it's a no-go. Switch it to this other program, which I ran that scenario from day 1. So from day 1, I already had my backup. I was like, switch it to that program. LP's already in there. We already have prior to docs, submit it. So it's a quick fix, but it's something that, again, it's at the end of the day, ideal situation for her would have been the Cal HFA program.
Yeah.
That's like one of the best programs.
Yeah.
Like I would say the best DPA program that's out there. Other ones just have longer strings.
Yeah.
And so she understood from day 1 and now we just gotta, you know, get ready for clear to close.
Love it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some kudos, bro, because honestly, that deal you and I did, like I don't want to say low key shitting it, but I was shitting it because, you know, the fact that we got the client in the very before they shut down the Dream program, but then the hurdles we had to go through, bro, like just the hurdles and then the maneuvering, right? But just the fact that you and I just kept it very like positive, like we weren't going to go down that road. And I kept saying, nah, you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. Right. And I just, you know, in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, it's going to work out like it always does. But I mean, I don't even want to know what you went through to make it work, just because, you know, the fact that she was on another property and that property sold a year before, and, you know, technically guidelines, you can't be a homeowner technically for 3 years, but she wasn't really a homeowner, right? But you were able to make that work. It to me was like, one, I don't care what anyone thinks, but I don't think anyone would have been able to do that deal. I really don't. And that's why I want to give you kudos, because I feel like, man, both of us would have lost out on a deal, right? But it's not just about that. That first-time home buyer would have lost out on their opportunity of becoming a home buyer, and then the emotions they would have went through to not even want to do it again for who knows how long, and then they would have prolonged becoming a homeowner. So that's the part I want to say, man. I give you kudos.
No, thank you, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's teamwork. Thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, as a team for us, relationships are important.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, we couldn't do, like what we do without the relationships that we have, and it's challenging, man. It's sometimes I think the mistake sometimes loan officers make is they you always want to communicate, but never to the degree of over communicating without solutions.
yeah,
Um, or you're just a panicky fuck,
yeah. That's the worst, bro.
right? And so sometimes there's certain agents where I'm like, oh, I can't tell them anything, right? Like I got to keep it very surface level,
Yeah,
not because I don't like sharing information, but because I know their personality.
yeah.
And their personality is immediately pick up the phone, call the client. How can I help? I'm like, dude, this is my job.
Fuck everything up.
Exactly. And then there are others where like yourself, where it's like, handle it, bro. Like, I believe in you. You
Yeah.
got it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Fuck, dude. It's so like just peaceful not to have to fucking pick up the phone, dude, and like I'm just like chill, dude. Like I was telling my wife I was coming, we're coming up here. She's like, just ask him if he feels better now that he doesn't have to update her all the time about she can finally leave her job.
Oh,
I don't know if I can say that, but leave her job or go to her next job, which
no, you know what? I mean, that's part of the thing, right? You can change employers during the
okay.
transaction, right? You can change employers during the transaction. Sometimes people have job offers that
Yeah.
that are better job
Yeah,
offers, so
for sure. More money.
more
Different
money.
situations, but I know sometimes lenders don't like seeing the changes for some reason. I mean, not that the underwriters
It,
certain guidelines they don't like to mess with that, right?
well, it's just more work.
Oh, okay, that
That's
makes
the only
sense.
reason,
Okay, that makes
right?
sense then.
So, like, if you're working at Walmart and you're going to Target, right?
Same line of work.
Same line of work,
Yeah,
you have better pay, better position.
yeah.
Well, we just update your application, and guidelines allow you to change your job and start your job within 60 days. Just like, for example, someone says, well, I'm not going to move into the house immediately. It's like, okay, well, you got 60 days and you got to occupy it. There's certain guidelines that are black and white, and then there's certain guidelines that, like, you work in the gray. And then you
Hmm.
got to be able to find and identify the gray.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
um, yeah, I was thinking about it because the day that I was getting ready to lock that loan, I was filming.
Really?
I was filming, dude.
Okay.
And um, I had, I think I had one or two. Michael had maybe one or two. And it was like a week prior to the last date, right? So it's
Hmm.
like, oh, the last date, a week prior. And it's like, okay, now we're in a position to do it. But then all of a sudden, like the emails start coming in and I'm ready to film. It's like, I asked processing, hey, is everything in there? Yeah, everything's done. Everything's in there. But then the system starts crashing.
Hmm.
And then now the girls are calling. I'm calling. I'm going to film in like an hour or two. And I was filming with Vic,
Okay.
right?
My
Remember?
boy Vic,
Yeah,
dude.
Vic. Shout
Yeah.
out to Vic.
Yeah.
Um, and I saw everything in the system. Everything's done. Cool. We did everything we needed to do. And he's like, "Hey, you're not worried?" I'm like, "I mean, as long as you do what you say you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and as long as you do it within timelines and all these things, like there's not much more I can do.
Nothing.
I did everything I
Yeah.
should have done. I did it within the time. Now, if the system's crashing, like I
Yeah.
can't control that. Now, 19-year-old me would have been fucking panicking,
Oh, bro.
and I wouldn't have been able to film.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at that moment, I had to just understand I did everything I should have done. Now, mind you, after I was done filming, after Vic was gone, after I talked to you, and that weekend, I could not fucking sleep. I was like,
So,
oh, fuck. I was like, I hope this shit
yeah,
went through. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, and just thinking like, could I have done
And
something
I was
different?
the opposite, by the way, bro. I was chill.
Oh, dude, I
But
was not.
yeah, and I was actually I felt bad when I called you too because I was like, fuck, dude, I hope it didn't fuck his weekend up, right? But going back, just to correct myself here, because I always think back 23, 24-year-old Martin, right?
Hmm.
25 and new in the industry, new agent out there. I would have been a wreck, bro.
Yeah,
My only deal, fuck, it's my only deal. I'm gonna close. And right now, what we're in and the way the market is, like sometimes that is our only deal, right?
yeah,
And we're trying to close that. That's what we're trying to do. So we're like hovering over it. And the one thing I've learned, bro, and this is just me, is one, I learned how to basically just accept things for what they are and just release it, dude, and not put so much pressure on myself and put so much pressure on the people I'm working with because I feel like that's only going to complicate things even more. So it's almost like I surrender to what I'm going through. And I was like, what can I learn from this? Like, what
right.
can I gain from this so I could become a better person, but even better in business, right? So that aspect was I'm not going to tell the client anything. It doesn't serve them. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I was like, so I wrote it the weekend, and I was like, man, we'll find out on Monday or Tuesday what happens. So either way,
Yeah,
we got another plan in place if we have to go that direction, and it
right.
would have worked either way. The other, I know because it would have made sense the other way. We would have figured it out. So that's where I'm like, I just was chill. So I'm sorry you had to go through that for the weekend, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was a fucking nightmare, man. Because it wasn't only that file,
Yeah, I
and
know. I can imagine.
and I could start seeing the emails start to come in Monday morning, 5 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning,
jeez.
and it's like, okay, like what do I need to do? And um, I started to get emails from Calhafa,
Mm-hmm.
and I would see because a lot of times it's funny, dude, because sometimes I post stuff on social media
Mm,
and I get other loan officers. They're like, "How are you talking to so and so? We are not allowed to do that." Or
mm.
how do you have direct communication with XYZ? And I'm like, fuck.
It's
So
but look, dude, that's years of building the relationship. I
yeah,
mean, we did our first Calhafa deal. If I can remember correctly, I'm gonna go back 2014.
yeah,
I think maybe 13, 14 was our first time we did Calhafa deals. And that's when I started doing first time homebuyer programs.
yeah.
Um, and fast forward, it's like, we did another one in 2023, and it's just, but you've been doing it for so long. So
Yeah, but
you
still though, it's funny because or even like underwriters, right? So sometimes it's the loan officer, then the processor, right? That's above them,
Mhm.
kind of,
Yeah.
depending on the branch. So it's the loan officer, then it's the processor, then it's the underwriter, then it's the CalHAFA program.
Mm,
And sometimes it's like that chain of command,
yeah.
right? Chain of command, basically the processor is the one that's talking to them, or even secondary departments, right? So secondary departments, it's the loan officer, and then maybe you're speaking to an assistant. And so sometimes I have posted certain wins, right, that we've
Okay.
had as a team. And how are you talking to so and so? We've been told that I can't talk to this person or that person. How do you have permission? And um, I like another situation that's similar to that. I have a client right now where my processing team is having a real difficult time
Mm.
obtaining a verification of employment.
Oh, wow.
Very challenging. Sometimes employers are jerks.
Yeah.
Sometimes like look at the pay stubs, don't ask me questions. Like they don't have to, at the end of the day. And I heard my processor tell the junior processor, she said, if you ever have problems like this, connect with George. George is really, really good. She goes, I don't know what he does. I don't know how he talks to them, but there's something that George does where he gets what is needed for our client. And it's understanding people. It's
Hmm.
understanding where that employer is. It's being extremely apologetic. It's putting your tail between your legs. How do you speak to
Mm.
someone? And it's words, word association, emotion, neuro-linguistic
Yeah, bro. You're
programming.
talking NLP right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that, bro. For
And
sure.
and again, someone who just started, who's 21 years old,
Yeah.
they don't have that,
No.
right? And so I'm I love my job,
Yeah,
bro.
I can tell, bro. Like, and every time we talk, you're just always super comfortable, but you enjoy what you do.
I
And
fucking love it.
it's interesting because I feel the same way now. You know, it took me a while to get here. I've been doing real estate for a while, but like, dude, I love what I do. Like, I enjoy really what I do. Like, you know, I enjoy helping people and I enjoy like talking real estate. I enjoy figuring out, you know, difficult transactions and trying to figure out how to make things work, you know?
Like that seller that you're having right now, that house that I saw you post.
Oh, the
How
one.
did that come about?
Okay. Well, that's actually a good question. So,
I have all the good questions.
dude, right? You do. But I've been talking to that seller since 2017. Okay.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
Well, he built both those houses. He built the first one, he bought them as lots. One was burnt down. And he rebuilt the first one, which is it's a 2 unit. And he put it on the market back in 18. It expired. I
Hmm.
called him. He wouldn't meet with me. He just wouldn't meet with me. He had his people he would talk to. So then 2019, it's the second time it gets on the market, expires again. But then he finished his new property, which was brand new that he built that he's living in, and that one hit the market and it expired. So he's expired probably on both properties, maybe 4 or 5 times.
That's crazy.
Okay. So fast forward 2023, I called him. I saw, I said, I know this property expired again. I was like, man, it's like the fifth or sixth time this house expired. So I called him. I said, hey, you remember me? I said, this is Martin. I was like, we've been talking probably now for 5 years. When are you going to finally interview me so I can show you why you need to hire me? And he was like, he was not having it. He's like, look, I don't want to sell. I said, great. You don't have to sell. But
You're not selling.
yeah, they're not selling, right? Obviously, they're
Mhm.
not selling because if they would have sold already, he's like, yeah, well, you know, he gives me his rebuttal why he doesn't want to list. And I said, look, let me ask you a question. Just plain out ask you a question. Why do you want it? Why did you put them on the market if you don't want to sell them? And he was quiet and he said, well, I do want to sell, but no one will pay my price. And I said, okay. I said, but if no one's paying your price, but you do want to sell, what does that tell you? And I'm telling this over the phone. And he's like, that people don't want to pay my price. And he starts going into making up rates. And I said, no. I said, you're looking at it wrong. I said, maybe it's the marketing. Maybe it's the way you're approaching it. Maybe it's different things. And I started going into my spiel. I said, look, I can sit here and tell you A and Z and X and Y, and you're probably going to tell me you don't want to sell. I said, but what would it hurt you if you give me 15 minutes of your time and I go over exactly why your properties are not selling, but most importantly, what it will take for a buyer to pay your price in this market? What would that hurt? He said, well, nothing. I said, great. Can I meet you today at 5 or tomorrow at 6? He said, why don't you come tomorrow at 6? And I said, okay, I'll be there. So he's canceled on me before. I know this, right?
Yeah.
So I call him the day before and I said, you know, hey, are you available to meet? And he's already backpedaling. He said, no, I thought about it and I just don't want to waste my time. I don't want to list the property. I said, great. I'm not coming over to list your property. I'm coming over to sell your property. So you're still available at 6, right? So, well, how long is it going to take? He's like, well, no, I'm not available. I said, great. What about in the next hour? I could be there in an hour. And he's like, fine. If you get here in an hour, I'll wait for you. That's how it started, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, what I understand is like you just said, I understand how to communicate with people. And I understand how to say the right things, not to manipulate them, but to get them to see what they're not seeing, but also to help them get out of their own way. That's what I did for him. So I went to list one of the properties, bro. I didn't go to list both properties. I went to list one. And he was not 100% sure he was going to sign the agreement with me. But after sitting down and going over stats, because I think that's most important, going over market stats, giving him different marketing strategies that he wasn't being told or being shown, and actually showing it to him, it opened up his, you know, his vision on how he can sell the properties. But
No, no,
the
go ahead.
kicker was he doesn't want me to put him on the MLS. And I started laughing and he's like, why are you laughing? I said, I don't want to put him on the MLS neither.
Yeah.
I said, there's no inventory. I said, I'd love to sell these myself. I
Right.
said, you're making my job too easy.
Right.
And he started laughing. He said, he's a wow. Like he just, I guess at the end of the day, he saw my confidence. He saw that I was confident enough to sell it. So as we signed the agreement, I'm walking out and he said, "Hey, by the way, would you sell this house also?" And I said, "Sure." So I said, "I don't know the comps on this. I didn't run it." I said, "But this is what I'll do. Let me get back to my office. I'll run some comps. Are you good on the computer?" I said, "Yeah, great. I'll send you the listing agreement on the computer as soon as I figure out what the price was." So I called him, went over some pricing. He agreed, sent him a listing agreement. He signed both agreements. So I took
What's
two
up?
listings the same day, and it was because he was ready to sell.
It's helping people get out of their own way. I think it's sometimes what we need to like identify.
Right?
Um, when when I go to stores, dude, don't ask me if I need help. Can I help you find something? Can I help you find something? Do you need help with that? It's that immediate you want to sell me something,
Yeah.
right? You walked into a car dealership and you're walking the lot just because you're curious or whatever.
Yeah.
So same thing with clients. People know that they're being sold to,
Hmm.
right? You feel it, you hear it. And so identifying different ways to be able to break those barriers. I think some of us have a gift, some of us really need to work on it, but all of us should expand on it.
Yeah.
And understanding that that client has a need, it's like, dude, you've listed 5 times. What do you just like signing contracts? Like honestly, you just like seeing your house on the internet? No, there was a purpose for you to wanting to sell it. And sometimes because I think I would know your personality, you're very direct,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not trying to wishy-wash, trying to I'm gonna talk like the way that I would speak like with my mom. I'm not trying to talk your panties off. I'm trying to pull them off. Like I'm not trying to do it slowly to try to sell you. It's like, no, dude, I want to sell your house. Like, you know my intent. I want to sell your house. Let me show you why your house hasn't sold, but it's direct. It's not like the 1 hour
Yeah.
fucking conversation. I'm being very direct with you. And I know that you are very direct. And sometimes people may misinterpret being direct with not being nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I am nice, but I also want to be direct. Like I want to serve you. I want to help you. I want you to be able to accomplish your goal. But sometimes you need to speak to people a certain way. And that's also like the takeaway technique.
Yeah. It's huge.
Like the takeaway technique when someone it's like you just pull it away. Wait. Hold on. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. And that's a sales technique, but it also works in life. It also works in life with
Dude,
relationships and
100%. Dude, my wife, she'll tell me, she'll call me out, bro.
Mhm.
She'll be like, "Don't use that sales shit on me right now." And I'll be like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're just trying to sell me." She's like, "I know what you're doing." She's like, "I'm in sales too." She's like, "That NLP shit." She's like, "Don't you even try to mess with my head."
Well,
And I'm like, "Wait a minute." I said, "Hold on." I was like, "First of all, I'm not selling anything." He's like, "I'm trying to lead you in the right direction."
yeah.
I was like, "But if you want to take it that way, then fine, by all means, and go ahead." It does help in relationships a lot, bro. It really does. Because if you understand psychologically how people are, you're gonna be able to lead them correctly. And I think that's really all it comes down to. I lead people
Hmm.
and I show them the direction they need to go, but I also do it in a way where it's like I'm direct, but I'm also not being an asshole to them.
No.
I'm doing it in a way where it's like, look, this is what you need to see, and this is why I'm showing it to you. And I want you to please get out of the fucking way so you can make the best decision for yourself because you're drowning. Because the dude was drowning, bro.
Yeah.
There was more to that story. And you're ready to move on with life, but you're stopping yourself.
It's helping people see what they don't see. It's helping people know it's like you don't know what you don't know, right at the end of the day. And so
Exactly.
you're not a realtor, you're not a lender, you're not in real estate. You can know a lot, obviously, especially now with everything that's online. You can Google a bunch of shit, and you can consider yourself that you know. Um, but it's like, let me get on your playing field,
Hmm.
right? Let me get on your playing field where I've told many people, it's like, dude, I have all these programs, all this software, all these things that we've invested money on. Mike has a bunch of stuff that like we share, like to figure out, especially if we're dealing with, let's say, for example, an engineer
Mm-hmm.
where they're very analytical. What does my amortization look like? You know, it's people whose brain is just like, whoa. Those tools help me with those individuals. But I also have to understand that that individual isn't the same as a guy who runs a body shop.
It's true.
And so sometimes the advice to everybody is use this tool, and you're speaking to people at this level that's very aloof,
Mm-hmm.
like very like you're beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't fucking work.
No.
I've shared with you that many clients that I work with are, they find me on social media and they've told me, dude, I don't want to work with the guy that's in a suit in an office and speaking to me in terminology that just doesn't connect with me, doesn't resonate with me. They're not using those words, right? They're not using those words. People expect, man, I fuck with you. Like that, those are the words that they use.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're smart people, they have good jobs, they want what we all want. They
Mm-hmm.
want to become homeowners, they want to stop renting. But being a salesperson is a salesperson in life. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing for me was Tom Hopkins.
Love Tom Hopkins, man.
So Diego, myself, and Mike, we go to an entrepreneurship program at JP High School where these kids do. They basically pitch their business, right? So they're in
Mm-hmm.
school all year. They help them formulate a business plan, all these things to get them creative. It's an entrepreneurship program, and then the graduation day, it's a Shark Tank where we have sharks and we're the sharks, and they're pitching to us. And so with every kid that we've done mentorship with, I've told them you have to read Tom Hopkins.
Which book have you read, bro?
Act like I am, sell like a lion.
Okay, that's a good one.
And so part of that book, he identifies very early on, every day you're selling to
Mm.
every single person. So you sell yourself to your partner, you sell yourself to
Strong,
your
dude.
employer. You're always selling. You are in the business of selling. And at the end of the day, what you're selling is that relationship,
Yes.
right? And so it's not the sales of um for example, like the Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
or the
Mm-mm.
Grant Cardone shit. It's like, no, it's understanding people, it's hearing them. You tell me, and being a good salesperson is being a good listener.
Yes.
You hear, and then it's like, okay, I heard this, I identified this, then you know which route to take
Yep.
to help, like, start peeling those layers of what those hangups are to help them see what could potentially benefit them.
Yeah. It's so my first Tom Hawkins book I read was back in 2009,
Okay.
and it was real estate related. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know the name of the book off the top of my head right now,
Hmm.
but it was given to me by a broker from Century 21 King, and it was probably by far probably one of the most influential books that I've ever read that helped me with my career
Hmm.
because it was all sales related. And it was very informative when it comes to selling to the customer. And I think that's what changed my thought process because we forget we're in the people business, right?
Mhm.
And we think about it, it's a transaction. No, you're in the people business. So when you understand that you're in the people business, it's all about building the relationship. And when you build that relationship, it becomes you can develop this bond with that person where that person will trust you. And when they trust you, you could guide them, you can push them in the right direction, and next thing you know, they're starting to listen to you more because they feel like, you know what, this person really is out to really help me. They're not just trying to sell me, but realistically, we are selling.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's I don't like to say I'm a salesman, but I'm a fucking great salesman.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this week alone, and I just saw maybe about an hour ago, a client that I helped purchase a house 3 years ago applied. A client from 2 years ago applied this week.
That's so awesome, dude.
Multiple clients have applied this week, just this week alone, that are past clients.
Wow.
And then there's the other clients that I've been working with for about a year, where they've been working with Diego on the credit. That was another one this week. You know, damaged credit, and then again, it's that transfer of trust to your
Mm-hmm.
referral partner. and the communication, the database, all the stuff that Mike has set up as well to be able to bring them back.
Yeah.
Um, and so I know there's a saying, something like people don't. I forgot the saying. I'm gonna fuck it up. Um, but when you're genuinely interested in helping people, right? You don't look at the check, you don't look at the transaction. It's just you know that the conveyor belt is going to provide the end result.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's going to help that client. But I remember, dude, I remember years ago, loan officers that I knew, and these motherfuckers were just so interested in making money. Obviously,
Yeah.
we get in this business for money, right?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we
it,
do.
it was like that though back in the days, bro. It was all flashy. It was all about where you were going, what kind of car you drove, what kind of house you bought. Everyone was all about making money. And that's what got me into the industry when I first got in
Mhm.
too. And there's nothing wrong with making money. And I think that's where we're starting to get that part of the business. Like it's starting to get like, oh, it's, people are getting a little bit like, oh, they don't want to show anymore, they don't want to do this anymore. That it's the ego is a good thing.
Mhm.
But I know where you're going with it, and it was flashy, and it was like that part of that era was interesting, but it was fun.
It was fun, um, but so like my dad was in the hospital last night. I was in the hospital last night,
Mm,
and he was telling me things about myself and Diego and my brother, and it was he was just saying things, man, that make me feel good as a man, make him feel proud of me as a man,
mm,
and I've always had a good heart.
yeah,
Like I've always had a good heart, and part of back in the day when all those neg-am loans were being
I
done and
remember
people were
that.
fucking raking money left and right. I remember sitting there, dude. I'm like, I don't feel good about this. I understand what this is. I genuinely understand this product. I know it provides a solution, right, to certain clients that may benefit from it. Um, but when I want my parents in this,
Hmm.
when I want my brothers in this, and personally, I could have made a lot of money, right? Or I could have done a lot of the bad stuff that a lot of people we know did. And I could not sleep at night myself. I
Hmm.
could never sleep at night being that person. I, dude, a couple years ago, I was at the gym when I used to work out. And the ones in Fontana or
Yep.
Fontana. So I'm in, I think I was driving a truck at the time. I had like an extra truck. And right next to me was this Camaro, dude. This really nice black new Camaro. I parked, gym's on the side. I opened the door, and it was like just as soon as I just smidged the door open, wham! Wind just
Boom.
fucked up the whole side of that fool's car, man. I'm like, oh shit! Like the whole thing was fucked up. And again, the immediate reaction could have been, "Try my car, fuck this,
Bounce.
bounce," which I almost did. I almost did. I'm like, fuck. So I pull out to see the damage, and I'm like, I just do this little bit, and then just went around once, the next stall over, and I parked. I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I can't do this. This is not me. So I walked into the gym, and I said, can you guys call over the PA? Like, let someone know, what happened. So they called, no one showed up. I'm like, fuck. Well, how's this person gonna know it was me? So I went to the car. I wrote my phone number down. I was like, yo, dude, I'm sorry. Give me a call. And it was a young kid, dude. It was a young kid. He called me. He's like, thank you so much. He goes, somebody else would have just fucking left. And I said, no, man, like, here's my insurance information. Call him, like, figure it out with them. But like, I didn't do it on purpose. And he's like, oh, dude, he's like, that sucks. He goes, how's your car? I'm like, my car's fine. Like, like, high truck, it just fucked up your whole door. And so just going back to the thing of like the loans that were originated back then, that's how I've always felt.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt that I need to do the right thing for the client,
Yeah.
even though I'm not making the money. I need to present all products, including down payment assistance,
Yep.
even though I don't make all the money, because it's based on relationships and long-term business.
Yep.
That's why those clients are calling me back. That's why the clients are like, dude, you took care of me, you took care of my family. Um, the lady that one of the second client that applied, I remember I went to lunch with Brian and George
Okay.
about 2 weeks ago. She texts me, and as she texts me, I'm driving to their office, and I called her. I was outside in the parking lot, and she's giving me a scenario, and the scenario is that their parents want to purchase a house, and she's like, I don't know how to do this, and how can it be done? You helped us. Um, Asked a bunch of questions, answered them. She said, I feel so much better after this conversation. I'll talk to my dad, and I think that we'll be able to help them purchase their house. It's like basically she's helping them co-sign so
Nice.
the parents could purchase their home. But she had questions about sisters, brothers, other family members. What happens? Like, what are the ramifications of co-signing? And so, if I screw someone over just to make my pocket fat,
Mm-hmm.
those calls are never going to come in ever. And so I just I got to do the right thing, man. I got to do the right thing, and I hats off to my pops, my mom for helping raise us to just be ethical, to just treat people right. But has my pocket hurt because of it? Sure, but it's also benefited way more because of it.
Well, you're thinking of the long term, bro, not short term. And
It's a
going
career, dude.
it is, and it's a business. So
Yeah.
how do you want that business? Do you want it to grow, or do you want it to stay at a baby level where you're never gonna excel and get to that level where we're all capable of getting to, right? It's interesting because I had a conversation with an agent in my office yesterday. You know, I'm walking in my office. I'm like, the fuck, dude, it's 4:30 and I'm the only one in this fucking office. Like, where's everybody at? And this young kid sitting there, and I look over and I'm like, oh man, dude, this young agent, he's there, he's making calls, and I normally, bro, I have a like, I won't stop and talk to nobody. I'm just focused on making my phone calls, and I'm focused on business. Like, I have no time for bullshit. That's
Yeah.
just how I function these days. So he asked me a question. I said, hey, how's everything going? He's all good. So everything's going good, man. He's like, I'm just, sitting here, just trying to figure out some things, looking up a property for a buyer. So what's wrong? He said, I don't know, it's not working, dude. And I was like, well, maybe it's not meant for you to look at that property for them, Have you ever thought of that? And he just kind of looked at me, he's like, yeah, but they really want to see us. So I started asking him questions. He's like, hey, so what are you doing right now? I said, well, I'm about to jump on my evening prospecting. I said, I got 2 hours and I got to get out of here and I got to go and do something. So I need to be out of here by 6:30 or 6. I wanted to go to the gym. I was like, 'cause I need to go. I want to go to the gym.
You're losing weight, huh?
I'm trying, dude. So I'm trying to tone right now, actually. So because I lost so much weight, and now I'm like trying to really build muscle.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So I was trying to get.
I was waiting for the moment to tell you, like, dude, you lost some
Thanks, bro. I
weight.
appreciate it, dude. It
But you
makes me
brought it
feel.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. But the interesting question he asked, he was like, I'm struggling with my calls, and I said, well, what do you mean? He's like, I just find myself not you know, just struggling to make my calls. I said, well, it's like everything else, man. I was like, do you remember the first time you asked a chick out? It's like, yeah. I said, were you scared? He's like, yeah. I said, but after you did it, didn't it feel good? He's like, yes. It's the same way when you cold call, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, just picture it that way, dude. Like, it's gonna be a little intimidating, but once you do it, you're gonna find it very like, oh, it's easy. And the conversation went a little bit more about business. And it goes into what you're saying a little bit about business. Like you want it long term, you want to take care of people. You're not about the money now. You're about looking at it. You're taking care of people because people are going to take care of you. And that's how you look at business. So I told him, I said, look, man, because he's like, I just don't know what to do. He was like,
How long's he been in the
he's
business?
only been doing this for maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh
He's
wow.
young.
Yeah.
And I said, look, can I ask you a question? I said, let me break it down to you before I ask you this question. I said, you've worked a 9 to 5 before, right? And he's like, yeah. I said, great. I said, do you want to go back to 9 to 5? And he's like, no. I said, okay, do you want to be your own boss? It's like, yeah. Do you like being your own boss? Like, yeah. okay, great. I was like, do you like your employees right now that work for your business? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you're the only employee that works for your business. I said, are you being a good employee right now? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, if I were to hire you and I said, hey, I'm going to hire you, you're going to make calls for me for 8 hours a day. I'm going to pay you $20 an hour. Would you show up every day exactly at 8 o'clock in the morning? He's like, yeah. I said, would you clock in and clock out for your breaks and your lunches? Like, yeah. I said, so why the fuck are you not doing it for your business? I was like, you're the only employee. I said, you should be the best damn employee for your business. I said, you should come in this office from 8 o'clock. You should treat your business like a business, like you're the employee, right? You treat it like you're the employee. So you take your breaks, you take your lunches, you do everything exactly like if you're an employee. I said, why the fuck is this office empty?
Right.
I said, do you think agents treat their business like a true business? And they're like, they treat themselves like an employee in their business? They don't. I said, that's why when I said, it took me a while to learn this. I said, I didn't do this. I said, it took me a while to learn this. I said, I'm the best damn employee that my business will ever have because it's the only employee that I have right now. And after I explained it to him, broke down, he kind of looked at me. He's like, fuck, dude. He's like, thank you. He's like, no one's ever told me this. He's like, and the way you explained it, he's like, I get it. And I was like, good. I was like, so tomorrow I better see you here at 8 in the morning.
Well, that's exactly on the sell side we were talking about earlier about that gentleman about selling. What you did is you peeled apart his onion. And it's like you made him understand it in his own terms, in his
Yeah.
way. And I think it's experience that gives you the opportunity to do that,
Yeah.
right? Experience, sales, coaching, perspective, being objective, because it is exactly that. And Mike has told me, and we've talked about it in sales meetings, and we've told other loan officers, um, when you leave the office at night, right, and you're putting your car in reverse or forward, depending on how you
How you
park,
parked.
would your family be proud of what you
Oh
accomplished that day?
man, dude.
Did I do everything I needed to do to help feed
Mm.
my family today?
Wow, dude, that's such a it hit home for me right now, and I'm gonna tell you why. So my wife tells me earlier today, she's like, you go to the office and like I get stuck doing this and this and that, and like, I can use a little help. And I was listening to her and I said, you know what? I understand. I said, but right now it's go time. Like that's just the way things are. I said, but I can tell you this. I'm not fucking around in that office. I was like, I'm respecting you and the kids and I'm working hard. I
Yeah,
was like, when I leave that office, I said, I'm drained. I
right.
said, and I'll tell you this because I owe it to you guys to make sure when I leave that office that I'm not leaving the house and fucking around, that I'm doing what I need to do because you're doing what you have to do. And that's what I owe it. I owe that to my family. And she kind of was like, okay, babe. She's like, keep doing what you're doing. But it was reassuring her, like, I ain't going to the office to fuck around. Cause I don't, dude. I do not fuck around, bro. Like, I go in and I work. And I'll literally tell people I'm working and I'll shut the door on them. Like I
Well,
don't. I don't.
I know you do because I've like there's been agents that's like, oh, I called Martin, but he said he's prospecting, and he'll call me back. But that's important. You're time blocking your
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. And to add to that point, imagine there was a well, there is a camera, but imagine this camera was live,
Mm-hmm.
and my fucking family could see
Mm.
everything I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
during the day. Am I on Instagram all day? Am I on Facebook all day? Am I doing my dancing videos all day? No, it's I'm working,
Yep.
right? I'm working. Um, the perception online is very different.
Very.
I was talking to someone about it and I said, look, I know what the perception is and I lean into it. But then when people like yourself that I'm working with or like some of my clients are getting phone calls at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So for example, tomorrow Saturday, right? Anna told me, she goes, hey, all your appointments are set up for tomorrow. So like I have a 7 a.m., I have an 8 a.m.,
Love
9
it.
a.m., 10 a.m. But people online may think, oh, this was just like doing something else. So if that camera was on the whole time, would your family be proud of you? Most of us are, our reason for
Mm-hmm.
everything that we do is for our loved ones.
Yeah.
That's the majority of people's why.
Yeah.
And if that those, you're fucking wasting your time and you're going to happy hour for an hour, whatever it
Yeah,
is that you're doing.
lunch.
It's just, it's not truthful. Javier talked about it. I was looking at the video that Mike and Javier did a while back, and Javier was saying, you can't lie to yourself, man.
Ooh, that's a
Like,
strong one,
you
bro.
can't lie
You
to
really
yourself.
can't.
Like you know what's in your pocket. You can't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wasting your time? And part of what Mike had asked him, he said, "What's your advice to new agents?" He goes, obviously basics, but time blocking.
Yep.
Like, you got to time block. You got to time block for the important things in
Yep.
life, the urgent things in life. Um, and the other thing is, like what you were saying as far as like your schedule and walking in and going to work. Since I've known you, you've been that dude. When I would go to the other office,
Mm-hmm.
you be in your office, you're
All the
grinding.
time.
You're not in the bullpen, bullshitting, chit chatting, out for a smoke break. You're working. And some people require, what's up, how's lunch, and all this shit. And I'm just like you. I lock myself in the office, get on the dialer, or I'm doing appointments, and it's just like go, go, go,
Mm-hmm.
go. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't need no water cooler talk. I don't need no one to inspire me. I don't need no one to motivate me. I don't need anything that most people need.
Yeah.
And I've identified that. So to some, it might seem like we're dicks,
Yeah.
right? Very disconnected. Like, no, it's just you need a hug. I need to work.
Mm-hmm.
And a hug is good for you, that helps you maybe produce, but I don't need a hug.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's a self-reflection to identify not feeling bad of how you are and who you are.
Yeah. Being authentic to yourself
It's
it's
fucking tough.
huge, bro.
We talked about it.
Yeah. But one of the things that I'm really starting to like understand about myself, dude, because I've been struggling like maybe the last couple weeks, dude, like
You have a really
haven't
dope beard.
me?
Yeah.
Do you think it's dope, bro?
Yeah, I
Oh,
wish I had
thanks,
one like
bro.
that. I
Yeah.
can't grow the like the middle
But
part right here.
you have a nice mustache, bro. So it makes
Ah,
up for it.
yeah, but still, I want that, like
You
that.
want that goatee look
Yeah,
straight across?
yeah,
Nah,
because
bro, but
mine's
it won't go with you because you have your own unique look.
what you were saying. I'm sorry.
But so I haven't been sleeping, bro. So like it, well, I don't know if maybe, I listen to a lot of different shit at night. Like I'll listen to, I know a lot of people, don't like this person, but I'll listen to like just different things on YouTube. Sometimes it would be I don't know, just Joe Dispenza will be one. I'll listen to a lot of his stuff 'cause I like listening to the
I got to
hypnosis.
cuss all the time.
No, he doesn't cuss. Actually, he's very very calm and very,
Oh, I'm thinking of this old white dude.
Oh, you're
No, no,
talking,
no,
yeah.
not white dude, but he's light skinned. But I think he's Hispanic. It's like a
Yeah,
billionaire
he's
dude.
short.
Yeah,
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 that dude's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, what's his name, man? I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, who's Joe
Yeah.
Dispenza? I've heard the
Joe
name.
Dispenza is just he's all about just, your mind, bro.
Mm.
So, it's like about meditation, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, I'll listen to that because I'm trying to, program my subconscious mind. I believe in that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to reprogram my subconscious mind from all the bullshit that was programmed since I was young, right?
yeah.
So I listen to these things because, I'm really angry. And the anger is not like angry, like I'm angry that I'm not where I want to be. And it's like, so I think back, like, what have you done the last 10 years? And I know it's not a race, it's a marathon, right? And I keep reminding myself that.
It's
But
so hard
it's
to
so hard, dude.
accept.
But it's like, it's going back to like wanting certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I like going to the river, but it's like, dude, I want a fucking new boat. Like, and those things
I've
are
seen you in your Daisy
they're
Dukes out at the
fucking
river.
$200,000 for a new boat, bro. And I'm like, well, how the fuck am I gonna get it? Who do I have to become to get there, right? Who do I
Yeah,
have to become? I want to own more real estate, more doors. I want to be able to leverage myself. I want to have different businesses. Who do I fucking need to become to get to that person, right? So I guess my me not sleeping is trying to understand that process with myself. Trying to say like, who do you need to become to get there? And then, and just thinking of ways like dude, I'll spend my nights just thinking, how can I help more people? What do I got to do to get in front of more people? Like, what can I do different besides just being on the phones? And I'll sit there just like listening to different things and like finding podcasts and just like listening to different, inspirational quotes and just different stuff, dude, that I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna listen to today? Or what thing can give me the edge? And next thing you know, it's like 1 o'clock at night. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I've been up fucking fighting my sleep because I'm trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
So, I've been going through that.
It's I think you're on the money when saying that wanting things is not a bad thing.
Mhm.
The kids that for the entrepreneurship program, one of the ones that I connected with, I don't know, this week or last week, they made this cool shirt, man. Their concept's really cool. And the concept is kids that have autism
Hmm.
or kids that have anxiety, right? Sometimes we suffer from anxiety. So they designed this shirt that is almost like braille on it, right?
Hmm.
It's just textured. So basically, like, at certain points, you can touch the shirt to just kind of give you that sense of comfort. It's kind of like a fidget spinner,
Yeah,
sometimes like, so I'm like,
it's pretty
clothing.
smart, dude.
I'm like, that's dope. And the design of the item, it's almost like a microchip, and like a tree, right? So like the branches and stuff like that. It's really cool. So one advice was um, the Tom Hopkins book, right?
Hmm.
So you're going to have to sell to distributors, you're going to have to sell to stores, you're going to have to sell your idea. You have to get around the concept of selling. It is a t-shirt company, but Tom Hopkins. Number two, it's like, oh well, we want to help people, and part of what I told him, I said, well, you also got to make money,
Hmm.
right? And is it to help your family? Is it to help yourself? Because I want you to understand there is nothing fucking wrong when saying I want to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. When we have these meetings at We Rep, dude, like the board of directors, what is going to attract the younger audience, right? They want to attract the younger audience. And I said, you know what? Money. Because the education that you're going to provide a lender like myself or an agent like Martin, which is valuable,
Yeah.
right? It's valuable nuggets of information to help us sell. Like what you talked about earlier, showing that client facts,
Hmm.
right? With data. But if you have a new agent and you have a new agent that's in the business a year or someone that wants to become an agent and you're trying to bring them into the fold, what's going to attract them? It's money. And so you have to understand that marketing technique of how to bring these agents in.
Yeah.
And then you brought them in with money, but you don't keep them with money. You
Mm-mm.
brought them in with money with the opportunity. Obviously, no one there can poach and no one there can recruit or anything like that. It's just the attendance, just to be
Yeah.
part of an organization. But once you bring them in, then they see the value of the content. Then they see the people that they connect with. Then they see, who is speaking. Cal Haffa is speaking, or Gov Hutchinson is speaking. Someone from CAR. Now it's like the substance that's keeping someone there.
Hmm.
It's like the same analogy of a pretty girl. It's like, oh, you go to the pretty girl, but then what's in there? Like, is it just prettiness? Is it just looks? Because you're not going to keep me there if it's just looks.
Yeah.
Um, and so the other part for you, like with the not sleeping man, I I tend to balance or jump between both because I know that I will have the same problem.
Mm.
And there's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of things that I can and I told this to Mike. I went to Barnes and Noble and I bought like fucking, I don't know, 20, 30 books. Zero on motivation, on business, zero on anything to do with fucking work because I work so goddamn much.
Hmm.
I'm up super early in the morning. Everything that I try to do to become a student of my business, right? To be a really, really, really fucking good loan officer. That means I need to know a lot if I want to just outshine every other loan officer. with knowledge, with sales, with systems, techniques, all these other things. So I've saturated myself with so much that at the end of the day, I don't want to hear shit about loans. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm reading, let's say Dante's Inferno.
Okay.
I'm reading a poetry book. I'm reading Robert Frost. Um, where it's like my brain needs a break. My brain needs a
Yeah.
break because if I stay on that mode
Yeah.
where I went on the dialer, I went on appointments, our day to day, and then you have your life, and then on top of that you add the motivation and now the self doubt starts, and what the fuck did I do? What don't I do? And all the extra stuff, I don't fucking sleep. So I've learned to just say, you know what, man, like I need to shut this off right now and I need my brain to have distractions in a
Mm-hmm.
creative realm because as I do these distractions, my own brain
Yeah.
will help me go down those rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But then it's that time blocking to add the extra time during the day or before work to do those moments
Yeah.
because I've struggled with that, dude. I've struggled with that where I'm like tossing and turning and I can't sleep and I'm just like, shit,
It
man.
brings me to something I'm going to share with you. So I love the creative side that you have because I create too, and
You're gonna drop some music on this.
I think that's what we have in common. We're both creative, right? I've been struggling with trying to finish projects because I can create. This has been my downfall, and I don't want to say it's like maybe it's my fucking excuse to not do it, but I can create. I'll make a beat, dude. Fucking 5, 10 minutes, I'll drop something. If I hear something, I'll make it, right? No problem. But when it comes to recording, I can't fucking figure that out. Like I just can't figure out how to record it. I have all the equipment, but I'm like, fuck, why can't I record this shit? Maybe I wasn't I'm not a sound engineer. That's not what I was here. I can produce the beat, I could write the flow, I could do all this, right? In my head, I can say the flow. When I want to spit it out, it will sometimes comes out, sometimes it won't. It's like fucking this fighting myself. So I'll go ask somebody, oh dude, can you help me, bro? You've been doing this a long time. It's the fucking first thing they fucking tell me, bro. And it's like, oh, well, bro, dude, that's gonna be like, 8 hours, 10 hours, bro. It's probably it's gonna run you $1,500. I look at them like, you motherfucker, dude. You've been doing music your whole fucking life. I don't see platinum records on your fucking wall. I don't see fucking anything you've dropped. I'm coming to you to help me with the project, and the first thing you want to know is fucking how you can make money. I was like, I can't fuck with people like that. So, yo, if anyone does music out there
Yeah.
and you want to help me and you're not about making money, you're just about trying to create some shit, holler at me because I've been looking for somebody to help me for so fucking long without putting the energy of money first.
It's so all this stuff, dude, um, it's fucking overwhelming.
Fucking very.
It's I figured out it's funny because when at the hospital yesterday, right, my brother showed up and I, as my dad sitting there, we just said, I told him, I said, hey man, I figured out a way to sync audio.
Is your pops all right though?
He's all right, man. He had a heart attack. He had a heart attack
This was
and
yesterday?
yeah.
Really, bro?
My dad was here.
No
So my dad
way.
was here. He came. My dad comes here all the time,
How
dude.
old's your pops?
63
But is
or
he good?
65.
Is he good right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's better. He's better right now. I talked to him like an hour ago.
Are they running tests on him and stuff, and like they're keeping him in, and
Mhm.
they're
So they did 3 EKGs yesterday. They did a sonogram on his heart. The EKGs came back good.
good?
But his heart rate, dude, when I got there, like his heart rate was like 39,
Oh shit!
like just barely, like barely. And so, like towards the end of the night, then it started to get between 60 and 70,
Started going up.
started going up.
Good.
And so then they moved him from emergency. Now he has a bed,
Okay.
and they're gonna do some kind of camera thing
When they go,
majiggy.
yeah, they're gonna go into his arteries and check everything.
hmm So what they said on that so far everything looks good. So far he's feeling better. That they don't see any blockage, but that's what they're gonna do that particular
Typically,
exam
that's what
for.
starts. Yeah.
They have him on blood thinners. simple questions, dude. The nurse is asking him a question about like, do you have diabetes? And he's like, I don't think I do. And I'm like, the fuck do you mean you don't think you do? You either have it or you don't. He's like, well, the doctor had me. I'm like, so you do? And he's like, he's one of those, dude. I'm like, I'm not trying to get mad right
Yeah,
now.
because you can't, because you got to be there for him, bro. You got to
Uh,
really like, yeah,
so
I
I'm,
get it.
I'm just like listening. The thing is, so like the diabetes stuff, um, now it's like, okay, figuring out is it like, is he going to need insulin or is he going to need to take
Pill.
pills? Um, and then after tomorrow's test, then we can, if there's no blockage, he gets released. And then, like, what's the next course of action?
Yeah.
Part of what I told him last night, Diego went to go get him some food. Um, I said, man, look, you're a grown ass man, right? Like, you're a grown ass man. So now it becomes a very self conscious choice.
Yep.
Either you change your diet and you start taking care of yourself to maybe live longer, because nothing is ever guaranteed, to maybe live longer, or you keep doing what the fuck you're doing and we already know what's going to happen. But just know that we want you around.
Yeah.
But you got to do that. And so my mom was in El Salvador. My parents are divorced, dude, mind you. But my mom was in El Salvador and I went to go pick her up. So I'm like, I'll be back. I'm going to go pick up my mom from the airport. And I picked her up and I'm like, she sits in my car and I'm like, so what do you think? She's like, well, what do you mean? What do I think? I'm like, you don't know? And she's like, what are we talking about? She could already.
She's
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, my dad. She goes, what the fuck happened to your dad? What happened to your dad? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, well, he's in, and I had to tell her. And she just, mind you, she just came off of a 7-hour flight. She's tired. She's older. I'm like, do you want to go to the hospital? She goes, yes. Like, take me to the hospital. Go see your dad now. And so I was there. I mean, we're there to the wee hours of the fucking morning, dude. And she came out of the hospital and she said, well, your dad said no more sugar, no more salt. She goes, let's see if he does that. Um, but she was pissed at us because no one fucking told her.
told her.
And I'm like, we literally found out when she was boarding the flight that he was going, like, taken to ER. It's like, I'm not going to have my mom sit on a fucking flight for 7 hours
Thinking about that.
thinking my dad's in
Yeah.
the fucking, you know. So, yeah, dude, I literally took a nap today before we did
Damn,
this.
bro.
I was,
I wouldn't have tell. Like I can't tell. I mean, at all. So
it's,
the fact that you're still pushing through is
it's,
amazing. Because
I've,
I would have probably said, "Hey, bro, we're gonna have to do this another day."
I thought about that. I
Yeah.
thought about that. I thought about that. I'm like, what would my dad want me to do, man? Like the same thing. It's like, you gotta keep going, man. You gotta keep going.
I
And
think that's like that's the statement of life, bro. Right? Life goes on, and it's hard for people to understand that. Like, if something were to happen to me, it's like I would want people to keep living. And it goes back to like, I've been doing this for so long, bro, but the one thing I wasn't doing was living. I wasn't enjoying my hard work. I wasn't allowing my family to enjoy it. And now it's like, no, I'm living. Like we're gonna enjoy life because, we're not guaranteed life. And I think we forget that. And I think we realize it when something happens to us really close. It's like, just live life. Just never know.
my dad, well, he was flirting with his, son, with the person that's giving the sonogram. And he's like, está bien bonita. He's like, she's really pretty. And then the nurse, the nurse that was there, really nice girl. She's like, oh, she's pretty. The motherfucker's like, stop, man. Like, you just had a heart attack. Um, but that same hospital, my dad was there for a month. He almost died. He got COVID. He
Oh
got
shit.
that bad COVID shit.
Oh,
So he calls it his little vacations place.
oh shit.
He goes, I'm at the same place where I had my little vacation. And so when that little vacation for him happened is when I said, fuck this. I need to live My dad almost fucking
Yeah,
died.
bro.
My mom, my aunt, my mom's sisters, both of them got COVID, right? So they were all held up in my mom's apartment. They all went there. My dad's in the fucking hospital. Then I get COVID. And mind you, the world's fucking falling apart. It was like in the, around that time. And it's like, what am I going to do? And so I was losing my memory.
Hmm.
I couldn't do math. It's, I guess, COVID brain or where the fuck it
They
is,
call it, yeah.
right? I thought it was fake. It's kind of like I dated someone who had cancer, and then they call it chemo brain.
Hmm.
Chemo brain, it's like you're just not 100% there, not 100% there. So once my dad got out of the hospital, I told Mike, I'm like, there's just a lot of things that are going to change in my life. There's a lot of things that I'm going to post on social media that, like, not everyone here doesn't pay my bills. My, you honestly, you don't.
Hmm.
Some of you guys are my friends. Some of you guys just sit there and watch. And the ones just sit there and watch, like, it's cool. Judge me. It's funny. This lady, I saw a comment on TikTok today. She said, there's so many great qualities about you, but why would you tattoo yourself? Be blessed. Be blessed. And I'm like,
Oh,
so you obviously know I'm a good person,
yeah.
but it bothers you enough to put a comment to just,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, and even right now with my dad, this whole hospital thing, one of the biggest debates is tattooing my hands. My tattoo artist and I have said, hey, either 55 is the age, 55, tattoo my hands, but
What do you mean 55?
to be 55,
Oh, got you.
to get
Got
to
you.
55, it's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna tattoo my
Yeah.
hands, do my bless my neck. Um, but the other part that's been going around in my head, it's like, and my dad said this last night. He goes, do not wait to retire until you're 62,
Oh, bro.
65, or whatever. He said, you need to enjoy life because you never know. He's like, look where I'm at again. Look where I'm at. Look where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, damn, dude, I'm going to wait till I'm 55 to tattoo my hands because fucking others are going to think I'm not
Hmm.
who I am. You know what? Fucking screw that. Like, if it makes me happy, if art makes me so happy, art, music, clothing, anything type of like creative expression fills my heart, and that hurts a stranger so fucking much that they don't want to work with me because their values don't allow them to get tattoos or see people like that. Well, then whatever.
You know,
So you gotta live.
yeah,
That
you
is what.
have to, bro. And I think it goes back, like, I used to care about what people thought about me, bro. I really did. But dude, I don't give a shit. It's like I got nothing to prove to nobody. I don't care if you like me for who I am. Like, I was listening to something the other day, and it said, you know, it was a saying like, treat people the way people are, I treat people the way they truly are. And I was never like that, bro. And I am going back to this whole concept of living, right? Because I was always worried what people would think of me because I was too nice, because of this, because of that. But it's like, no, I'm gonna treat you exactly the way you fucking are. Because sometimes people are just gonna do shit. They're gonna judge you. They're gonna talk behind your back. They're gonna be fake to you in front of you, and then behind your back, they're gonna talk about you. They're gonna hate on you. But it's like, man, I ain't got enough haters, bro. I need to get more.
It's I I've always said that I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck what people think about me. But I'm also in this business,
Yeah,
right? I'm also in this
yeah.
business, and
And that's
so
that's you kind
it's
of got to walk that fine line, right?
yeah. Now I'm just
But
really towing
I'm
on it.
gonna challenge you, bro.
Now I'm really fucking
I'm
yeah.
gonna challenge you because you said this to me.
Mhm.
You know, I used to feel that way, bro. It's all, but I want to fuck with people who truly align with me, dude.
Right.
Who are my peeps. Like, if you're a hip hop head and you want to listen to some hip hop and we can go look at properties, I'm your guy, dude. If you're, I want to be truly authentic with who I am because I feel that people are scared to be themselves. And it's like, dude, I'm not scared to be me, dude. Judging myself. Man, I used to go through the whole fucking day judging myself. Oh shit, I looked at that chick. Fuck, I'm a fucking man, bro. Like that shit's
So
natural, right? But
Okay.
I used to judge myself. You're like, oh, I'm bad. No, you ain't fucking bad. Society tells you you're bad. It's bad if you do something that you shouldn't do, right?
Right.
But going back to what you're saying, just be authentic, dude. And I think I mean, and you're experiencing this because you said it. And I was pretty impressed when you told me like you're just starting to attract all these people that just are vibing with you, bro.
It's so we go to our in-laws' house. We don't, most of us have a certain decorum of how we present ourselves, right? It's still us, but we dial it back,
Mm.
right? It's not the fucking same language we use at the bar. You don't tell your father-in-law, "What's up, fool?" Like, you don't.
No.
So there's a time and a place.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only difference is that I'm not going to go to a fucking appointment, right? So you and I have a buyer. I'm not going to walk in like this.
No.
It's Friday. I knew I was filming with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be on YouTube, Instagram, all that
Yeah.
shit, whatever. I'm going to dress how I dress on a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
But if I have an appointment in the office, I'm not dressed like this. Like, this is out. I got a coat on. Obviously, like right there, I got my jacket, but like I'm dressing for the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that for me now, it's to say my page, my media, my magazine. It's my life. It's my TV show.
Yeah.
It's my subscription. And if you want to vibe and be with my tribe, let's go. And if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
It should not hurt me. But I think like rewind 20 years ago, dude. 20 years ago, uh, I was 19. I think I was 19.
Damn, that long ago, bro.
Yeah, man. It seems like forever ago. Like forever ago. Dude, yesterday seems like forever ago. But 19, I was 19 20 years ago. It's like suited. I started to part my hair, right? I started to part my hair to go to appointments because I had frosted tips, bleach tips. I was a teenager,
Yeah, you're
you
young.
know? And then I needed to get business. Michelle Del Moro asked me the other day, she said, "Hey, do you think you have a leg up on your appearance because of your how long you've been in business?" I'm like, "Oh, 100%. I think I do." Because if I was just starting in the business, I need to dress the part. I need to look the part.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have the relationships I
Yeah.
wouldn't have the relationships I have. So it's like I've paid my fucking dues. Like there's always room for growth.
Yeah.
Always room for growth. And if someone says, "Hey man, you have this particular appointment," like again, I don't walk in like this.
Yeah. No.
But on our stuff, man,
Yeah.
on our stuff, I think we just have to be okay with being ourselves and be okay with not working with everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to mesh with us. And the thing is this, not everybody back in the day allowed everything to be vomited all over social media.
Mm.
So before you might have met, it may have come up that you were a hip hop head and like the person might have connected, but that's all they knew. It was just very simple, whatever you engage with. But now if I give an opinion on religion, right? Religion's always a taboo subject, or an opinion on politics, taboo subject. Those are two things that normally have been kept out of the sphere. But like let's say I was on, well, not let's say, this is real. I was on TikTok the other day and I said, I hate cats. I don't like cats. Fuck cats. They're jerks. They're dicks. They're assholes. I love dogs. I fucking love dogs. If I see a dog, I'm like, I want to pet it. I want to hang out with it. I love dogs. So people on my social, dude, I was doing it live and they were just going off on me, canceling me because I like cats.
Because you don't like cats.
But this is what I'm saying.
It's pretty fucked up, man. I'm like, you just can't say anything these days without somebody getting fucking their feelings hurt.
You have a red shirt on.
I know.
So this is the thing. Some people like red.
Some people don't.
Some people like blue.
Yeah.
Some people like blondes. Some people like brunettes. Some people like fit people. Some people like big people. And there's nothing fucking wrong.
There's really nothing wrong, but it's your choice, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So we've been so careful, especially when we depend on the connection with others,
bro,
to not say or to not peel our own onion, because if we peel our own onion, someone who likes fucking red might not work with me. We might be okay with working with them, but they might not be okay with working with me.
Yeah.
So if those are the people we're gonna fuck with, dude, there's still sometimes there's clients where they say shit, and I'm like, man, if this was a friendship, I would not fucking be friends with you. Like that opinion you have, like I don't fucking agree with at all.
You just, it doesn't fit your standards of who
Oh
you
no, no,
are.
no, no. We're not friends. We're
Yeah.
definitely not friends. I'm gonna help you get this house, but we are not homies. Like outside of this transaction, I got you your house. I'm respectful. It's business. Like dap it up or whatever, but shake hands because again, it's very
Yeah.
professional. But that word or that statement, that sentence, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think sometimes when people show their true colors, like meaning ourselves to the world, we fear the fact that we may lose, but in reality, we're getting more of ourselves back.
Yeah.
So I think bring your music up.
We're really limiting ourselves, bro.
Yeah.
We really are, dude. So it's like the more authentic you are, the more liberating you are going to be with yourself, right? Because you're now being your true self. And like I said, it's been a big struggle, dude, like for me to really walk authentically without feeling ashamed, without feeling judged. But just as of late, dude, like I can't even explain it. It's like almost like something deep inside of me just said, dude, just be you. And I have been. And there's things I'm doing. It's like, man, like this feels good. This feels right. I don't have to worry about shit. And to me, that feels good. Like, I'll post stuff here and there on social media, and sometimes I'll delete shit because I'm like, oh, fuck, someone's going to take this wrong.
Yeah.
And, I'll still do that every now and again. But now it's like, I don't care. It's like, dude, if you're going to get your feelings hurt, if you're going to judge me, if I'm going to get a DM talking shit about me, or if you're going to unfriend me, or if you're going to see me or you're going to have like a pissed off look when you see me because are you going to say something? Like, I don't give a shit. Dude. I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, dude, like, I think deep down inside, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone just wants to be fucking liked, right?
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, as long as you like yourself, it's all that fucking matters.
Yeah, it's not that person that you look at in the mirror every morning or at night. It's it's easier said than done, man. I mean, it's easier said than done. So I'm sympathetic, empathetic to your plight because just like these conversations that I've had with a few people, um, they struggle with the same thing. And that's the part that it sucks to say, man, because I fucking told myself this last night as I sat on the curb outside of my emergency room yesterday, thinking about my dad. I'm like, man, other people are going through worse shit, or other people are going through the same shit. Or I don't understand. Woe is me is not my fucking MO.
Mm,
Like I gotta understand that there are others, and the way that I like align it with other things is that there are others that are struggling with the same thing. There are others that are struggling with being themselves.
mhm,
Others that are struggling with sales, being a new agent. Other sellers that don't know, who to sell their property to, and they've listed 5 times, been expired. So there's 7 billion people in the fucking world. It's like you really think you're the only one fucking struggling? You really think that you're that special? It's like, nah, man. Like we're humans. There's a lot of intersections that cross and paths that cross. So again, sitting there, I was feeling I didn't want to be sad in front of my dad because my pop started crying a bit. It's like, all right, I don't, I can't do this in front of him right now. I can't do this in front of Diego, but I did do it outside. I did do it outside. Um, and then also understanding it's like others have gotten through this. Others have been in my same situation. Others have been in worse situations, and we're resilient and we push through. And so we just gotta we just gotta keep doing, man. Just do it.
there you go. I
Algo
love
más,
it.
compañero? Anything
Está
else?
bien.
We good?
We're good.
I like it.
I like it too.
Well, thank you, man.
No, that was really good.
No, I like it.
Enjoyed that combo.
I did too.
It was a very good combo, bro. I didn't know that about your dad. I'm sorry to hear about that, dude. I
That's all right,
really
man.
am, dude. You're holding yourself up really well.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So,
He's
but go visit your pops, bro. Get
it's
out of here so you can go see him.
I can't.
Oh, they won't let you?
No, no, it's past visiting hours right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Um, so I'll go visit him tomorrow. We'll chop it up tonight.
Good.
Yeah, we'll chop it up tonight, and my mom and my aunt were gonna go visit him today. Um,
But it sounds like he's gonna be okay though, bro. It sounds like he's gonna, as long as he does what he needs to do, he should be all right.
I hope so, man. I hope
Nah, bro,
so.
no, he will, bro. He
He
will.
told the nurse he was addicted to pan dulce yesterday. I'm just like, motherfucker, shut the fuck.
Oh shit. With cafe or what? His
Yeah,
cafecito? Yeah, bro.
he's just it's our parents, man. I mean, they're our parents, right? Like, I don't
Mhm.
feel like I want to yell at him. He's a grown ass man.
Yeah.
He's a
At the
grown
end of the
ass man.
day, it's hard for us to feel like we need to understand they're grown men.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I gotta
just like we're grown men, they're grown men. And you can't force them, bro. Just all
nah.
you gotta do is just encourage him. Hopefully he makes his own decision the right way.
It's I talked to a friend today and he was struggling with some stuff, dude, and some medical stuff, and he was feeling very, very bad, very depressed, very, very ugly situation. And part of what I told him is like, what happened to my dad last night? And I said,
Yeah.
look, man, like my dad right now has a choice, right? Same thing I told you, this way or that way. Right now, you're telling me about a very different choice. That choice is like this ends or you fight.
Hmm.
And I said, you're a fucking grown ass man. You're a grown ass man, and the choice was pen and paper, and not a good one, right? Like, and so I said, you know that I don't want you to make that choice. You know that I don't want you to go down that path. You know that you would leave a hole
Mm.
for many, many, many that are here. But at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's
We all will.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like right now, it's a matter of fucking choices, man.
Yeah.
And so just like my dad has a choice to make, glad you made the choice that you made, right? Obviously, you and I are on the phone right now. Um, like I love you, I miss you, like just words of encouragement, like. But look, my dad's gonna have to fight for his life right
Yeah.
now too, and you're stronger than that. But it's words, it's love, and then at the end of the day, that person must make that choice. I can't pick up the phone for you.
Yeah.
So all that in the last 24 hours plus fucking work, man.
Oh,
So it's been fun, man.
well, I appreciate this, bro.
Nah, I
It's always
appreciate you, man.
nice chatting it up with you, dude. You outdid yourself with your setup, I'll tell you that much.